Good afternoon. Mike and Corey are here. We decided to kind of go towards the end of the day to see how the markets played out on Powell's speech. Very exciting news. It's green, 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 and we love that going into a weekend. And so I'm going to cover kind of where the markets are at and some of the things that have moved, like Bitcoin. And then Corey's going to take over and talk a little bit about what the Fed's mandate is with unemployment and inflation and kind of how Powell's speech touched on those items today. But before we get started on this Friday afternoon, I must remind you this is a financial education presentation. You must do your own due diligence on anything that you hear in this presentation. More disclaimer information can be found on ankerstarwealth.com, and the opinions expressed are mine and Corey's alone. So let me share my screen. That will make you happy. Unless, of course, you were shorting the market, then you would not be happy. But we're not doing anything like that. We are all about this market going up, and it is green, green, and green. And what I want to call out is the NASDAQ was up 1.5%. Which is exciting, but the Russell 2000, which is more the small cap, is up over 3%. And when I see that, I know that is very good news. That means the rally is expanding out for breadth. It's not just those Mag 7 top 10 stocks, it's broadening out. And that's a good thing. We want that. We want the whole market to go up, not just a few stocks. The fear index, which is the VIX, is down 10%. If you remember, that thing spiked about 3 weeks ago. But what this was caused by, or it was really Chairman Powell speaking about 10 o'clock this morning and basically saying it's no surprise, rate cuts are coming. And I'm gonna let me bring this up. It's a little bit, a little bit of quotes, and this was the key quote that I captured here. The time has come for policy to adjust. The direction of travel is clear, and the timing of and pace of rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. And basically, September rate cuts are coming. And, we've talked about whether it's a quarter point or a half point. It's likely to be a quarter point. I think the market's kind of consolidated on that. But it's just the fact that they're coming, and there's confirmation here. I don't think anything was surprising in his speech this morning, but the market liked the confirmation. I have to show one of our favorite holdings that, it's a little exciting when it jumps like this, but Bitcoin up 5.5% today. And I know it's not at all-time highs, unfortunately, but, hey, I like the surge. And that, once again, it's not just the top 10 stocks, it's small cap, it's Bitcoin, it's everything moving up today. So, good news across the board. I want to, I'll put this over to Corey. Now, just to prepare you, this is going to be a volatile time. We have a presidential election coming up. The last I saw, it's a 50-50 coin flip right now. 50-50. So, markets do not like uncertainty. We'll see where that goes. And, it's not straight up all the time, as much as we might wish it was. We're going to get some volatility. We're going to get some buying opportunities going forward. But, the Fed has certain mandates they cover. And with that, I'll turn it over to Corey, and he'll talk about those mandates.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about the two mandates from the Fed, so what they're monitoring to decide if it's time to lower rates. So the first mandate, well, not necessarily first, but one of the two is going to be the unemployment rate, and the other looking at inflation. The Federal Reserve is tasked with keeping those as under control as possible. First here, looking at the...
You're fine, Corey, as he speaks. You're on mute. Corey went to mute. Oh. So what Corey's showing here is the oh, go ahead. I was going to say,
the historical average is going to be close to 4.5%, and we are below that right now. There is a little bit of concern that has ticked up in the past, couple of sessions, but coming off of a truly historic low, that's really not immediate cause for concern. The second mandate of the Fed is to monitor CPI, Consumer Price Index, which is inflation. Inflation, they'd like it to be about 2%. And why do we want inflation? We want prices slowly going up over time because it puts just a little bit of pressure on buyers. You feel like, man, I should probably buy this TV now. I should probably buy this other thing now because prices might go up for some of these goods. The problem that some countries have gotten into with deflation is that as prices are going, if consumers anticipate prices going down, then they delay their purchasing even further. So we do like a little positive inflation, and around 2% is the goal. You could see the Fed has gotten really, really close to that. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Mike. The Fed is seeing good data to indicate that lowering rates is an appropriate action at this time.
Yep. So yeah, going into next month, I think the Fed meeting is, I want to say it's September 18th off the top of my head. It's something like that when they'll make some more announcements. They'll be looking at the data that comes out over the next month, unemployment, any kind of CPI, PPI, any kind of inflation information to confirm that rate cut. Right now, that's expected. The economy is slowing. Now, if it was to slow too much, the Fed might cut it a half point. But right now, it looks like they're on for the soft landing that they keep hoping for. I did some research, though, on soft landings. Technically, there's only been one soft landing in 1995 by Greenspan. So we hope they hit it. When I was reading on this morning, it said if they hit it, it's almost like, put Powell into the Fed Hall of Fame, like, that he did such a good job with this. So we obviously want it for our book of business and helping the shareholders grow, but it's not been done very often, and so that's. Congrats so far to Powell. I know when I was reading, he said he doesn't even like to say soft landing because it like almost like jinxes it. So, but today, good news, green, go into the weekend. If you watch this, you're just like, yep, my accounts are up. Great, and we hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to y'all next week. Thank you. Bye.